Good morning, everybody. This is Ramona Remisat from Connect to Your Angels. I hope you guys had a great weekend. Sorry this is getting out to you a little bit late. I have been very busy this weekend at my Reiki Master training, so it was a wonderful weekend, and just wanted to give myself some time in the evenings to sort of take everything in and absorb it and just let it settle in. So I haven't really been on my computer. Hence, as I said, why this is coming out a little late. But nevertheless, here we go with this week's angel reading, and this is for the week of June 4th to the 10th. So I'm going to go ahead and give the cards a shuffle here. We will select 3 cards representing the beginning, the middle, and the end of the week. Beginning of the week. And the end of the week. Okay. Hopefully you can see those okay. So for today, we have this beautiful card called Compassion, which says, soften your heart with respect to the situation and all the people involved, including yourself. This is really about looking at things from another perspective. A lot of times we get so wrapped up in the situation emotionally that we sort of don't see the forest for the trees. And sometimes if you can actually take a step back and place yourself in the other person's shoes, you begin to understand it a little bit better and come from a place of compassion. I always equate people who may be, taking issue with you, or maybe they're not kind to you or whatever, I equate them sometimes with a wounded animal. You know how when an animal is wounded, it will act out in self-defense because it's hurt. A lot of times I think that's the same thing with people. When people don't have a kind demeanor, or they are just naturally the type to lash out at people, I think often it's because they're hurting inside. So I try to send love to them, soften my heart about it, and realize it doesn't really probably have anything to do with me. It's probably more what's going on in that person's life. So if you can just hold that idea in your mind and try to practice that for today, tomorrow, well, ongoing, especially throughout your life, but at the beginning of the week in any situation you may encounter. And it might be, a boss who's kind of snarky with you. It could be even just a service person at a coffee shop who just doesn't seem to have a very kind or nice demeanor, and our automatic instinct sometimes is to think, well, what's their problem? But if you can look at it more so from the point of view of thinking, well, I really don't know what's going on in that person's life, what might have happened to them before they came to work this morning, or what their personal situation is, I really don't know. So I'm just going to send them love, I'm just going to send them light, and you really can't go wrong when you take the high road that way. So as we move into the middle of the week, we have the card Clairvoyance. This is from Archangel Raziel, who is saying he's helping you awaken your spiritual sight so you can fully see heavenly love. So if some of you are working on being able to enhance your clairvoyance, or you've been feeling like that's something that you wanted to work on, this is definitely validation that you're on the right track. Some people are afraid of this. So if this is something, you've maybe had some glimpses where you've sort of had some precognition about something, or you've seen something and realized that ended up happening, not to be afraid of it, it's to embrace it. This is actually one of the ways that the angels send information to you. So they send information to you the way that you get information in your day-to-day life, through things you see, things you hear, things you have a feeling about. That is the same way that the angels communicate with us. So through the middle of the week, to really pay attention to things that you see. Now it could be things that you see in your spiritual sight, so meaning in your dream time. It could be things that you see maybe when you're meditating, but often it's just things you see in your physical world. It could be things in the form of a sign that you see, like a actual road sign, or like a billboard sign. It could be things you see in the newspaper. So if you're seeing repeated phrases, messages of some kind, sort of the same words keep popping out at you, really pay close attention to that, because when it's repeated, that's how you know it's divine guidance. So if you're dreaming and you're having the same repeated dreams, or maybe it's just a symbol in the dream that kind of keeps coming up, make a note of it. It's really great to have a little journal to just jot things down in, and because the repetition might not happen immediately, it might happen and then a couple of days go by and then it happens again. So keep track of that, and then look back in your journal and just see if there is sort of a repeated pattern taking place, and if it is, try to see what that pattern is or what the theme there might be, because that is definitely a very strong message that's coming through for you. If you're fearful, as I said, about kind of getting messages this way, call on Archangel Michael. He is the one that takes away our fears, so just ask him to remove your fear and help you open yourself up, so that, like the card says, you can awaken fully, so you can clearly see the heavenly love and the heavenly guidance that's being provided to you. All right, end of the week, we have career transition. Some of you have been sitting on the fence, wondering, do I, don't I, do I, don't I? And this is sort of a validation, if you have been thinking about making a career change, that this is the time to go for it. A lot of people are holding back, again, because of fear. It's that unknowingness of what's on the other side. It's like maybe you hate your job right now, but you don't really want to change anything because you just don't know what that would look like. And I want to promise you that when you have the courage to let go and surrender, the angels will do one of two things. They will either heal the situation entirely, so maybe your job all of a sudden won't be so awful, or they will bring you something even better. So you never have to worry about, holding on to something that's no longer serving you. You can give it up freely, knowing that it's going to work out okay. If you're still really stuck and not knowing what direction to turn to, a lot of people know they want to make a change, but they don't really know what they want to change toward. You can work with Archangel Chamuel, who is the finding angel, to help you find the ultimate or the most optimal work situation for you. But if you've been following my videos and my emails, you'll know that anytime you want to manifest something in your life, the best thing that you can do is get out your pen and paper and write it out in detail, detail, detail. So don't just ask the angels, please bring me another job. They're going to be stuck. They don't really know what that looks like to you. So say, do you want to work for somebody else or for yourself? How many hours do you want to work? How much vacation time do you want? What kind of benefits do you want? What do you want your physical space to look like where you're going to be working? Like, even, what that room or that office or that desk space, does it have a plant? What color is on the wall? Is there soft music in the background? Like, what exactly is the environment? And what would be the personality types of the people be that you're working with? And if you do have a boss, describe in very big detail what that personality of the boss would be. So you get what I'm talking about, but the more detailed that you can make it, the better. And once you have your list complete, then you can ask the angels, say, now angels, please bring me this or something even better, because we don't want to put any restrictions on our humanness and sort of what we can imagine in our own minds. We want to open it up to every unlimited possibility that the angels can bring us. So make sure you always say, and something even better. So I hope that helps everybody, and wishing you a wonderful, wonderful week. Here, I can't believe we're already in June. We got some great stuff going on. We've got a lunar eclipse tonight, and then the transit of Venus tomorrow, which won't happen again, I think, for another 100 and something years. So it's a really, really, really powerful time to really work with your intent, set your intent about what it is that you want, whether it is for a career or any other types of other things. And remember, just keep working with your angels, asking for what you want, and tuning into that guidance. And have a great week. See you soon.